Despite a lot of people doing more things at home during COVID-19, we had a spike in drownings, 294 in the last calendar year, an increase of 20%. It's prompted concerns around Australians in the water this summer. We've had messages of an urging of safety from both the Prime Minister and Opposition Leader today.
If you're not sober, don't swim. They don't mix. Forget it.
Last year, the number of drowning deaths was up 20% on the previous year. Keep an eye on your children and teach them to be water safe.
It is National Water Safety Day on this day, the first day of summer. And joining me live is Adam Weir, CEO of Surf Lifesaving Australia. Thanks for your time, and I know your organisation focuses on the surf. What would be your one message, if you would offer one, to parents in particular this summer about what they should be doing?
Well, first of all, Tom, it's great to be with you to acknowledge National Water Safety Day, and great to see those messages also from the PM and the Leader of the Opposition, and it just shows the true bipartisan support that the issue of drowning has around the country. It's a significant issue. It's one that, despite what we might think during COVID, we actually saw an uptick in drowning, 294 drownings around the country last year, and 136 of those on the coast. We've got a couple of simple messages that we want people to remember when they're enjoying the water, and we do want people to enjoy the water. Australians love the water. We have about 300 million beach visitations each year around the country, 12,000 beaches around the country. So we love the water. We want you to enjoy the water. But if you do have small children, supervision of children is vitally important. If you are going to the beach, swimming at a patrolled location between the red and yellow flags is also really important, and there's lots of patrolled locations around the country for people to enjoy their time at. Alcohol, drugs and water just don't mix. So if you're going for a swim, please don't have a drink. Treat it like the road rules. And lastly, wearing a life jacket when you're boating, fishing or on watercraft is also really important. It's a simple bit of kit, and it might save your life.
When we think of the surveillance issue you mentioned there, I think a lot of people watch very vigilantly when their kids are in surf in particular, but it seems to be those more benign environments, a placid-looking river or lake, maybe a swimming pool that's not that deep, where some of these tragedies happen, where a kid can slip and in an instant, a few seconds later, they're suddenly under the water.
I think you're right, Tom. Like around coastal locations, I think people are aware of the risks, especially with small children, and are vigilant around children at those times. But we see, the number of drownings with children under 5 occurring in and around the household has unfortunately increased over the last 12 months. And so being extra diligent with children around water around the home, not just swimming pools, but bodies of water that you might have lying around the house is also important, and the importance of checking your pool gate, your pool fence at this time of year also really important. Make sure you've got a working, self-locking, self-closing pool gate.
Yeah, don't put off that task. I know a lot of us get through the sort of life admin tasks at home, and put that number one, that the pool gate in particular, definitely good advice. What about tourists and migrants as well? Because so many of us grow up near the water, we get used to rips and so on. Do we have enough warnings? How do we better sort of warn visitors to the country or new arrivals about, our beaches look beautiful, but there can be a lot going on beneath the surface of the water?
It's a good point, Tom, and we do a lot of work with, the airlines trying to get messages to people coming into the country. I guess the last 12 months has been a really interesting piece of data to have a look at, because with international borders mostly shut due to COVID over that time, we've actually seen an uptick in drowning. We've seen, Australian residents who are really looking to get out and away from the home after coming out of lockdowns, going to places that they're probably unfamiliar with, exploring new locations, exploring their own backyard, and perhaps being unfamiliar with those locations and unfamiliar with the risks. But Surf Lifesaving does a lot of work with migrant communities, with our culturally and linguistically diverse communities, to try and increase the awareness of the risks around the water and what to do if you get into trouble.
A message we all need to hear every summer. Adam Weir from Surf Life Saving Australia. Thanks for your time.